Hi guys, welcome to Hazel Lucia Tarot. I'm Stephanie and today's reading is about your next upgrades. So we're going to be seeing what your next big change that is going to be for the better will be, whether that's in the physical form, the spiritual form, emotional form, or maybe even just stuff that is coming into your life that is going to really upgrade it for the better and in massive ways. We have 4 piles here for you today. First pile is aragonite. Second pile, we have the amethyst. Third pile, we have lemurian quartz. And fourth pile, we have this gorgeous round garnet. So when you're ready, pick your pile and I'll be ready for you whenever you are. Hi, pile 1. If you chose the aragonite, then we have your pile here for you today about your next big upgrades. So just starting off with the aragonite, I'm getting a sense of structure and somebody who's been working a little bit by bit on certain things that they wanted to accomplish in life. And I feel like it's been something that's been happening for a few years, like in bits and pieces, but I really feel like it's something that's going to take a while, whatever that may be. But let's dig into your oracles to see exactly what the nature of your upgrades are. And we're going to start with the card you chose, which is last quarter moon in Libra. Make time for self-love. I love this because as I'm filming this and when I release it, we are currently in the sign of Libra. So a lot of Libran energy is coming through, a lot of balance, working on love, both inner and outer, as well as the love of community, the love of people, and also something to do with aesthetics. So some of you might be in fields or do something that has to do a lot with the way certain things look, whether that is art, whether that is fashion, because I am getting a little bit of clothing coming through. Maybe your next big upgrade is going to be something to do with your wardrobe. But I'm also hearing just the way things look. So maybe you wanting to pretty up your home or making your surroundings look the way you want them to, so that they better reflect your inner self is what I'm hearing. But making time for self-love as well, I feel like that's a form of self-love for you. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. It's a form of self-love for you to get your surroundings to look and feel exactly the way you want them to look and feel, so that they better reflect the person you are. We also have space. So yeah, that's what I was talking about. I'm getting like your actual space around you. Crocodile. Some of you may live in areas where crocodiles or even alligators are prevalent. We have ocean. Pretty sure that's a you. Forgiveness. We have mirror. Who or what is triggering you? And pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So yeah, your next big upgrade is definitely something that is internal, but it's like the external and the internal are both affecting each other, especially because Ocean here, the goddess Ocean, she really does give me Libran vibes as well, because she is just, I thought that was a mirror she was looking at, but that's actually a peacock feather. But look at how gorgeous and beautiful she looks. Like, you can really tell she is feeling herself in this image of her with the sunflowers and with this awesome dress and headdress. I really feel like you're going to be shining. And as a result, both everything on your outside is going to be affected. Well, sorry, let me phrase this properly because I keep getting tongue-tied. Maybe another thing you're upgrading is the way you speak and the way you communicate, because I feel like some of you are learning to better put things into words, if that makes sense, like feelings, emotions. I feel like you're somebody who doesn't really work a lot with words. Like, maybe your field or whatever it is you do is more visual, or it's something where you don't have to speak a lot. So you rely more on visuals than you rely on verbal communication. So in releasing this awkwardness in the way you speak, I feel like a lot of things are going to upgrade because you're better communicating the things that you want and or need. And one aspect of this is going to be your outside. I really feel that you really believe in the power of spaces, things like feng shui, the energy of things. I'm also getting Marie Kondo the spark joy kind of energy. So for some of you, your next upgrade is getting rid of things you don't need or getting rid of things that just no longer reflect you as a person. Because I was talking a lot about that before I even put this card down here, mirror. Because I feel certain things can hold energies that can be quite triggering. I know we like to keep things for their memories or for the sentiment or because somebody gave it to you, but if something physical, if an actual object is giving you just the heebie jeebies or bad vibes, I think it's time to get rid of it. Or if you don't want to get rid of it for whatever reason, at least cleanse it. I do this a lot with jewelry, especially jewelry that is like passed down through the family. Like if your grandmother gives you a ring or something, you clearly can't get rid of that. Like you're not going to just throw it away. And even selling it might be something you don't really want to do unless it's like absolutely necessary. But you might want to cleanse it because gold, silver, and all those really precious metals as well as gems do hold a vibration. So you can cleanse the vibration of those things and, you know, send all the negative energy or energies that they may have to the light and really allow itself to heal before you actually use it or put it away wherever it is that you may keep it. But for most of you, I am getting the sense of an upgrade in your clothing, maybe even the way you look. Some of you may be getting more into, I'm hearing skincare or makeup, maybe just to update your look or to maybe actually start doing something about your beauty routine if you don't already have one. Because the crocodile, I'm thinking of wrinkles or dry skin or, you know, just something where you're not, where your face and your skin are not looking the best. And even though this isn't to say that you're becoming old or anything, I really feel like paying attention to your body in general, to your face and everything is part of self-care. It's part of the self-love. It's like there's nothing wrong with, you know, wearing sweats all day or just being at home and even not wearing makeup. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But we do have to have a routine of like taking care of ourselves sometimes. So whether that's doing like maybe a mask weekly or something like that, or maybe getting a face wash that is a lot better for your skin. Something to that nature where you're really taking care of yourself. Like I said, this is all going to be outside, but it's going to be reflective of whatever's going on inside. So for example, if we are taking care of our skin, the skin is ruled by Capricorn and Saturn and the 10th house. And that's the way we are perceived on the outside. And in turn, that could actually affect your career. I know it's kind of a big stretch, but that's how I tend to see things because I do come from a background of astrology. Likewise, I feel like if we are talking about clothes, there are sayings out there like the clothes make the person. So maybe you want to get a job where you are more in control or are making more, and therefore you start dressing a little bit more put together, maybe a little bit more professionally, maybe even more streamlined, or you're wearing more, I'm thinking corporate colors, but I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? So maybe more black, navy, grays, you know, colors that are serious and that are timeless and that are taken seriously, but maybe with a little bit of yourself in it as well, like a pop of pink or something that matches. With Pillar of Light, your vibration is rising. You are the Oracle. I really do feel a lot of you, your vibration will rise as a result of this. When you clear out negative energies, you allow for more space for positive energies to come in, whether that's in your wardrobe, house, bedroom, wherever it is that you reside. It doesn't matter how big or small your area is. If all you do is live in like your dorm room or bedroom or like a small space of wherever it is that you are, you can cleanse that. And because that's a place that you frequent a lot, it's going to be a reflection of yourself. I don't know how many times I've cleaned out my bedroom or house or something, and it's allowed better stuff to come in. Like maybe I got rid of some books that I just no longer resonate with. I donated them or sold them if they were able to be sold. And, you know, lo and behold, a few weeks or days later, I get an even better book that really resonates with me at the time, or I make more room for tarot decks. I got rid of my books several years ago, and now all I have are like oracle and tarot decks, and they make sense because now this is what I do and this is what I enjoy doing. So it's very much reflective of the kind of person I am now, as opposed to a bunch of poetry books that don't really resonate with me anymore. But with Ocean Forgiveness, I feel like some of you need to forgive yourselves for some of the things you've done in the past, or some of the things that you may have felt, or even for allowing your space or even maybe your own body to get to a state where it's just like you kind of don't know what happened. It's almost like I'm hearing like a train wreck, a train hit it, or whatever the expression is, like a tornado hit it. But you need to forgive yourself because at the time you were probably going through quite a few things, or you were working out certain things, and you didn't have the time or energy to really give your space or yourself that kind of attention. But now you're coming into a space where you definitely are. And so forgive yourself for not being able to do all of this at the time. And in forgiving yourself, you're able to move forward, maybe in an even faster fashion. Like maybe you'll be able to really find the energy and the speed to clean your room so it doesn't take, forever. It'll just take an evening or a day, depending on how big your space is. For some of you, I do feel like there's going to be a bit of spirituality involved in this, like especially if you are somebody that cleanses your space or that makes your area a meditative area. I feel like space is going to be not just your actual literal physical space, but you're going to be creating more space in your mind to really relax, to really unwind, to be able to sort out through your emotions, to be able to sort out through the feelings you've been having, and even the decisions you may have to make in the future, whatever those may be. And with Pillar of Light, I just think meditation, you are the oracle. You may be getting some intuitive hints about what to do or what to bring into your life. For some of you, I feel like there is a bit of indecision about what to do next. So clean out the space, create the space for good things to come in. That is going to be your biggest upgrade coming up for you. I am going to read a little bit on the crocodile because I want to see what else is coming through for this card. So the book says, resting, submerging, collecting energy, and cooling off. The crocodile reminds us to step back from the external world and turn inward. Now is not the time for decisions, action, or discussion. The crocodile's mantra is wait. This doesn't mean lying around hoping life's challenges will disappear. The crocodile is much smarter than that. It means intentionally withdrawing, gathering our awareness, observing, and building energy. So from that, I'm getting that in this moment of waiting, you are focusing a little bit on the external, actually, but in doing so, it's going to allow you to really focus on the internal. It's kind of like when you procrastinate to do a big school project or any kind of project, really, and suddenly you feel the need to clean everything, just as an excuse to not have to do something you have to do. You think of better well, not better, but other chores to do to procrastinate. I know it's kind of weird, but that's what I used to do when I was in college and I wanted to put off, a project for a while. I would just start cleaning my room. But once everything is clean and you have nothing else to do but to focus on that one thing you have to do, and in this case, it would be that internal cleansing, meditation, whatever it is. Once you allow your space to reflect you and the way you want to be, you can turn inwards and become this oracle, allow your vibration to rise. And again, give yourself space, clean your space to give yourself space. That's what I'm getting from this. And I'm also getting, even though I'm going to go into some signs now, because we do have Libra here, so we also have air signs, but I'm mostly getting Libra. We do have earth and water, because I think crocodile is the one of the two, because it's alligator and crocodiles. They're very similar, but I think crocodiles are on land a lot more than alligators, but they both need water. So water signs, but with a bit of earth. So some of you may be a water sign and earth sign combination. So you may have like a earth sun and a water moon, or vice versa. With Ocean here, she gives me Leo vibes, Libra and Leo, but because of this crown she has and the hair, Leos are known for having like very flamboyant, awesome, amazing hair. So some of you may be Leos. And because I did mention the skin earlier, Capricorn was coming through earlier as well. So if any of those signs resonate with you, take that as extra affirmation of this. But let's move on to the tarot to see what else is going to be part of your big upgrades coming through for my pile one. We're going to be using the Sacred Sisterhood Tarot. So what can we get for my pile one? First card is the King of Pentacles. The Page of Swords. We have the Nine of Pentacles. And the Sun. That's funny because that card from the oracles was reminding me of the Sun, and we did talk about Leo. And then to clarify this, we're going to, let's use the same deck. To clarify the King of Pentacles, we have the Two of Wands. To clarify the Page of Swords, we have the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. To clarify the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Lots of Pentacles. So yeah, definitely a lot of Earth sign energy here, pile one. And to clarify this, the Sun, we have the Two of Swords. And back of the deck energy, we have the Tower. So I feel like some of you have been working a lot on your finances, but for the other half of you, I feel like you're working more on the kind of life you want to have, and whether that's, especially if you still live with like family or roommates or whatever, or if you haven't left the house yet, where you want to live, what you want to do for a living, and how you're going to go about achieving this, as well as the kind of family you want to have, whether that's human kids or fur babies, or if you want to have a partner. I feel like a lot of that is coming through for some of you. Like a lot of big, massive decisions, but it seems like all you can work on right now is yourself and your surroundings. So in being able to control your surroundings, you're going to be able to better understand and look inside to see what it is exactly you want. With the King of Pentacles and the Two of Wands here, again, you're waiting. There's a sense of waiting and planning for when you come into total control of your life, because the King is somebody who is in control. And even though Pentacles is coming through, like with finances, I'm also thinking of like the rewards that you have reaped. Think of all the seeds that you've planted in your past when you were younger, or even like the dreams you had as a child. You're wanting to be able to bring those to fruition. So it's more like you're planning, and some of you may be manifesting, like actually writing things down in a journal, a manifestation journal, I'm seeing and we're hearing, to make these things come along, and you're just waiting for this moment and when that will come. With this, with the Page of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles, I really feel like you're starting to get better ideas about what your end game is, because the Ten of Pentacles to me is the happy ending. It's one of those, all the 10 cards are cards of ending. So I really feel like you're trying to visualize what it is that would make you happy, what your happy ending is. And even though endings are really an illusion, nothing ever really ends, you set this as a goal to get you where you want to be. And again, you may be revising those, because swords energy, especially here, is making me think of editing. Like you're going back in and editing certain things. Maybe certain things stay the same and certain things have changed quite a bit, because as you get older, as life goes on, your values and your desires do change. I'm also being drawn to the butterfly on the breastplate here. Some of you are definitely going through a transformation. I'm hearing quite a big transformation. Maybe some of you never even really wanted a family and you're starting to want one now. Or maybe you never really contemplated the idea of owning a home or having a partner. Anything along these lines. I feel like some of you are starting to have certain realizations. It's giving me a little bit of death card vibes, but not so profound, not so crazy, because that would be like a dark night of the soul has to happen before you realize that you want something else. But with the butterfly, you're just transforming. You're just coming out of your cocoon. And with the Tower here, I feel like it will come on suddenly. Some of these things will come on suddenly. It's not necessarily that something has to break or fall apart in order for things to change. It's more like it's very unexpected. That was the energy I was getting when I saw this bottom of the deck energy with Nine of Pentacles and Ace of Pentacles. Again, you're focusing on your stability, mostly financial, but for some of you also health, because or I'm just being drawn to the body here, to her body. So maybe some of you are dealing with physical issues. Maybe you're trying to get healthier physically. Maybe some of you are just trying to do um, better diets. And I don't mean like going on a diet. I'm just saying the kind of foods you eat. You're starting to change those for the better. Maybe eating more whole foods, eating more vegetables, whatever it may be. Just something along those lines, that you're eating healthier, as well as consuming less junk food for some of you, just to keep your body going, because this is the vessel that we are given to navigate the 3D world. Why not take care of it? But you're also planting seeds for other things to come, specifically for the things that make you happy, because sunflowers make me think of joy, and they did show up in the oracles as well. So maybe sunflowers are like an important flower for you, or an important symbol of joy, happiness. I'm also hearing summer, so some of you may be summer babies, or you maybe just love the season of summer because of what that season brings for you. And again, we have the sunflowers here with the sun. Um, Again, some of you might be Leos, but the sun card is also that of joy. I feel like a lot of you are just bringing in a lot of joy into your world for whatever reason. Maybe you came from an energy of being just being down all the time, being sad, being very, I'm hearing morbid for some of you. And you're trying to just bring in a lot more light. Some of you, especially if we're going into the winter season, depending on when you watch this. Right now it is autumn, so winter is going to be approaching us soon. Maybe you suffer from seasonal affective disorder, and you need a lot more light in your room or in your space in order for you to be able to feel joy. So maybe this is something you're focusing on, especially if you are redoing your living space. You might set it up in a way so that you allow more light in. If you're doing like a renovation, you might add more windows to your place, or maybe you're going to add brighter furniture or paint or wallpaper. And for some of you, mirrors might help. Mirrors do reflect a lot of light. So if you put a mirror near like a window or in front of where like all the lighting in your room is, that will help bring in a lot more light. For some of you, there might be children involved in your future, whether that is like another family member being added, whether it's your own child or maybe like another niece or nephew, or even just, just more children coming into your life. That, or you might be gravitating towards childlike habits. Like maybe you're taking a time to really nurture your inner child by, I don't know, maybe drawing or coloring, just doing things that children would like, or maybe making yourself little snacks that you would have liked when you were a child, or I don't know, taking the time to go outside and play and just have fun. With the Two of Swords here, I feel like that will break a lot of your indecision. This indecision, this feeling of not knowing what to do, what to go, what to think. And I'm getting mostly think or even say. Maybe there's certain things you've been needing to tell certain people and you don't know how to go about it. This is going to be undone the more you focus on your joy, on your physical space, on your physical self. And there's not, I don't think, well, how do I say this? I don't think anybody's ever been annoyed to hear something positive, but I also feel like that's not true, because there are those negative Nellies out there who just don't want to hear people be happy or say happy things. But I don't know, in your case, pile one, it's definitely more of a positive vibes thing. Like make it a point to bring that into your life, even if it feels fake at first, just so that you can get something good in you when you start your day, especially if you're somebody who meditates, or if you're somebody who gets a little bit, again, if you have seasonal affective disorder, or if you get a little bummed out during the holidays, make it a point to do something good for yourself first thing every morning, whether that's watching a happy video, a happy song, or even just a good feeling song. It doesn't necessarily have to be happy. It could be something that really brings you joy, something that will allow this good energy to come through every day, and little by little it becomes a habit, so that you're not having to slip so far down the rabbit hole of of darkness, so to say. So this is going to be one big upgrade you have, is just your outlook on life in general. And again, I'm getting mostly outer, but it will affect your inner and vice versa, because I feel like some of you are kind of reluctant to look inwards. So in changing your outward environment, you're able to really be able to focus on the inward stuff, if that makes sense. Yeah, maybe a little bit of what this Two of Swords energy is also reluctance. And with the Tower here, there might be something coming into your life that's going to kind of force you to not be so reluctant about all this inward exploration, whatever that may be for you. So we're going to move on to our closing advice cards, and we're going to be using the Pokemon Oracle deck, Bokami Omikuji. For those of you who do want to get in tune with your inner child, I feel like maybe something like this would help if you grew up with Pokemon. For my lovely pile 1, we have all may, none must. And, ooh, we have Diglett. Don't do everything yourself. Though someone else may not execute something as well as you, ask yourself, does this situation require excellence? So no one's asking you to be perfect, pile 1, even when you're like maybe clearing out your space or trying to redo your area. If something doesn't go, or trying to upgrade your wardrobe, if something isn't completely perfect, like maybe there's something that, just think about good enough that it still keeps you happy, if that makes sense. Good enough that it still fills your heart with a good vibration, that it fills your space with like that good positive joy. It may even be something that you don't really that you don't normally gravitate towards, but because it's got such good energy, you're still able to resonate with it to some extent, if that makes any sense. I feel like this is especially true when we're shopping for clothing, because there's no such thing as like the perfect article of clothing, especially if you're somebody who is like differently proportioned or of different sizes. I'm very petite, for example, but a lot of clothes seem to look a little baggy on me. I just have to accept it and allow it to be part of my thing, or I could always get it tailored as well. But either way, I feel like if you strive for perfection, you're never going to get there. So just, I hate using the word settle, but just accept that whatever you find and what you get is what you need at the moment. 999 may be important for some of you, or 2499. Something maybe 999 that you expect it to be 24.99. I don't know why that's coming through for those of you that are shopping. And then with all may, none must. So I'm getting a sense of exclusivity here, but specifically in ascending. So all may try, it's like all may try to meditate, but none must meditate. Like it's not required that you meditate in order to be feeling in a great vibration, but it doesn't hurt to do so. I just feel like it gets you there a lot faster, and it definitely puts you in a better mind space, or even doing like energy clearings or energy work. All may, none must. I'm also getting a sense that maybe you can just try something for like a certain amount of days, like maybe start off with a week or 2 weeks and maybe up to a month, and see how you like certain energies. Whether you like to do just a simple meditation, whether you like to actually do a whole energy cleanse, whether you just want to do small positive affirmations every day. Just start step by step. Because again, it's optional, but wouldn't you rather feel amazing because you do it? I don't know why that's coming through. And then I'm going to use some cards from my Handmade Oracle Positive Affirmations deck. Hopefully I get cards that are all written on, because I still have a bunch of blank ones that I haven't filled out because I don't know what to write. Oh, okay. They're all falling apart. That's okay. So the first one we have, saying no is a power move. Say it more often. So some of you may be doing some boundary setting. and silence speaks volumes. And some of you may be, I'm getting this several ways. So for some of you, it might be better if you just speak less, because in speaking less, you get your point across better. But then for some of you, I'm also hearing what is not said is saying a lot more than what is said, if that makes sense. So pay attention to what people don't say. And some of it may be saying no. I get the feeling that some of you think that in not saying anything, you are saying no, but you do have to actually say what you want. And in this case, it may be no. Basically, express exactly what it is you want. Maybe find that out for yourself first before you start speaking about it. But I feel that in, again, clearing out the outside and focusing on the inside, you will learn how to better communicate the things that you want and or need. Because I feel like silence did work for some of you for a while, but now it's not enough. Now you have to very clearly explain, verbally explain to people what it is you want. Because there is power in the things you say. There is power in the boundaries you set through the spoken word. But again, it's knowing when to balance these, how to balance these. Know when to speak and when not to speak. And I know that's very vague and that's easier said than done, but I feel like you will really learn this in the coming future. This is another part of your upgrade, is just better communication, pile 1. And these are all the messages I have for you today. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. And if you like, you can comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, pile 2. If you chose this amethyst cluster crystal, we have your reading here for you today about your next upgrades. Right away, I'm feeling that some of you are very intuitive, or you have some type of intuitive ability because you chose the amethyst. And some of you, I'm hearing, have like an innate ability to manifest and to really allow things to happen that you want to happen in your life. Some of you are actually quite powerful about it. And well, let's see what your upgrades are, because I'm wondering what you could do with this, or if that might actually be the topic of today's reading. But we have last quarter moon in Sagittarius, practice gratitude. So some of you may have moon in Sagittarius, or maybe Sagittarius. And then we're going to get into more oracles. We have energy, elephant, crow, Shang-O, divine feminine, and priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? Yeah, so this definitely has to do with intuition. Because some of you may be energy workers, and this is why the energy card came through. I'm also looking at this little dot on top, I'm assuming it's a jewel on top of the elephant, and that makes me think of the third eye. And what elephants also make me think of wisdom, but like very ancient wisdom that is passed down from generation to generation, or from like lifetime to lifetime. I feel like some of you are either already very in tune with your past lives, or are becoming more in tune with the wisdom of your past lives, if that makes sense. With crow, again, more wisdom. But in this case, I feel like you're also working a little bit with your shadow self. Some of you may be very drawn to crystals, and maybe this is why you are here. But I am getting a lot of magic energy from you with Shang-O, divine feminine. I feel like some of you are tapping into your divine feminine, or already work a lot with this. And this is the energy of receiving, of allowing things to happen, of not being so active as much as passive, but not in a bad way. It's just allowing things to play out and allowing things to just be, as opposed to always actively doing something, actively reaching for something. You're just allowing things to come to you. And for some of you, that might be a difficult energy to be in, especially if you are somebody who's used to being in a more masculine energy. But it's kind of like just relax. Things will come to you because you already attract them. With priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? I feel like some of you are finally sharing your gifts with the world, and or you're using your intuition to better things around you, specifically the lives of others around you. Maybe your workspace, if you don't work from home, because I'm hearing some of you do, but then some of you actually go somewhere else for work. And if so, if it's a separate space from where you live, you're bringing in better energy to that area. And I feel like a lot of people are very grateful for that. With practice gratitude, I feel like a lot of you already are grateful and like you do practice gratitude. But I'm wondering if Spirit is asking you to do something more concrete about this. Maybe keep a gratitude journal, or maybe actively add like a gratitude list to your meditation. Like just maybe out loud think of things that you are grateful for, or to just recognize that energy of gratitude a lot more, to really allow things to come in. Because when we're grateful for something, we allow for more of that to come in, or for very similar vibrations to come in. I feel like some of you have stepped away a little bit from that attitude of gratitude for whatever reason, but that's okay, because you're just being asked to step into that energy a little bit more. So some of you may be Year of the Rabbit, or the Year of the Rabbit could be very important. I think we are currently in the Year of the Rabbit as I film this. It's 2023, so yeah, that's the Year of the Water Rabbit. And then with the frog here, whenever I think frogs, I think of the fairy tale, The Frog Prince, or The Princess and the Frog for the Disney version. So I'm wondering if you people are finally finding your people. I did say people. I don't know why I said you people, but my lovely pile too. You are finally finding your people, whomever that may be. For some of you, it might just be like that one person, especially if you are trying to manifest a soulmate or a partner. But for others of you, I feel like you're manifesting a lot more people, like a whole soul family, or even a community that is very grateful for you, that is very accepting of your gifts, of what you do, and where you don't have to hide it, you don't have to be, hush hush about it. I feel like you're trying to manifest really your space, your people, your community. Especially because when I think of both crows and elephants, when they're in numbers, like elephants, they're very beautiful creatures. They pass down wisdom to and correct me if I'm wrong, I might just be making this up, but I'm thinking of how elephants and baby elephants travel together, and how they go to like their same resting grounds, and just I'm thinking of a well-knit community. And same thing with crows, how they're able to communicate between each other, to do things together, how they flock together. So I feel like some of you will gain some power in finding people just like you, who do the same things you do and who understand you. And some of these people may be Year of the Rabbit. That, again, if that resonates, take it. And for some of you, I feel like you're going to be asked to take more of a leadership role in this. Maybe people look up to you in what you do, and you're starting to like have your own little group where you, it's not so much lead, it's more like you guide and advise them, or even become a bit of a mentor, so that you can learn from them and they in turn learn from you. I really feel there's going to be an exchange of learning here, because the elephant is also bringing up the hierophant, because they kind of rhyme, elephant and hierophant. I don't know, but the elephant I'm super drawn to. I wonder if I'm pretty sure they're one of your spirit animals. Some of you may be Tauruses, because that's one of the Taurus animals. And some of you may have ties to places where elephants are native to. So like several countries in Africa, India, as well as parts of China, because I think there's like a Chinese elephant, like a specific one. I might be wrong. But again, so if you have ties to these countries, yeah, just take that as a confirmation. Or if you travel a lot and you want to go somewhere, this could also be an indication of somewhere you may go to get a better perspective on life in general. I'm going to read a little bit from the Animal Spirit Guidebook for the crow, because I get crows and ravens and what's the other one? I get all the blackbirds confused. I know it's bad, but I love them all. Like, I still think they're magical and mystical. I love them all. So Crow, spiritually strong, creative, and watchful. The crow has long been a symbol of magic. A crow personality is drawn to the supernatural and has a gift for seeing the unseen, knowing the unknown. It is said that the crow holds within its mind's eye the three realities, past, present, and future. Crow energy is potent and should only be tapped into when the mind is clear. Those with crow tendencies must balance their lives with a healthy diet, joyful friends, and regular self-study. So yeah, especially the friends part, I feel like that's the one of the main things that is missing from your life pile too, or that is not as strong as you would like it to be. Like maybe you only have the one friend, but you would like to have like a community, or maybe you only speak with them online because you can't really find anybody similar to you in your physical space. But for some of you, I really feel like you're going to be clearing out a lot of old stagnant energies, or you're going to be releasing them, because even though you may have vibrated with them at some point in your life, they no longer resonate with you at this point. And you may have really, really owned up that energy, whatever it may be. But you know that as you get older and as your priorities change, you have to make way for things that resonate more with your current self. And that was a similar message I was getting in pile 1, but with pile 1 it was more the physical world. As to we're here, this is we're definitely talking about the spiritual world. Some of you have very, very strong third eyes. I'm still hearing, and it makes sense because like even this lady in this card, well, it's not the third eye, it's like the crown, but still you can tell that she's a very powerful person, very much in tune with her higher power. And for some of you, I'm hearing you're also going to be rebalancing your chakras. Like maybe you already do this regularly, but you're going to be finding new things within them and better ways of expressing them. And for some of you, you're going to be learning about the other chakras, like the minor ones or the ones that people don't really speak about. Something to do with your chakras, with your energy points within your body, your energetic body, of course. But yeah, let's move on to the tarot to see what else you can get about your next big upgrades. So your next big upgrades are definitely spiritual, pile 2, but I feel like you're kind of used to that. You're kind of used to upgrading your spiritual practice or your energies quite often. So this may not come as a surprise to you, but I really hope I can give you some more profound advice. So we're going to be using the Sacred Sisterhood Tarot. So for my pile 2, we have Temperance. We also have the 9 of Pentacles. We also have the 3 of, I'm not sure which one this is. 3 of Wands? Yeah, Wands. Okay, that makes more sense. They don't say what they are, and I'm kind of having to guess what's on here, but that's Pentacles. And I think in a previous pile, I said that some other card was the 9 of Pentacles, so now I have to go back and edit that. And the Ace of Pentacles. Lots of Pentacles coming through today. And then to clarify these, we're using the same deck. So to clarify Temperance, we have the Hermit. To clarify the 9 of Pentacles, we have the Emperor. To clarify the 3 of Wands, we have the Knight of Wands. Some of you may knit or crochet. And to clarify the Ace of Pentacles, we have the 4 of Wands? Yeah, the 4 of Wands. And back of the deck energy, King of Pentacles. So for a lot of you, I feel like you're going to start balancing out this need to be kept away from everybody else. I really was feeling a lot of Hermit energy from a lot of you, because I get it, especially if you're very empathic and you take on a lot of energies, or you just do a lot of energy work. Being away from a lot of people can be very beneficial, because that way you're not having to take in their energy and clear it out and having to, you know, have that be a part of the energies you have to deal with. But with temperance here, I really feel like some of you are going to learn how to better balance that. Like maybe you'll get new perspective or a new way of dealing with those outside energies that are not yours. So you can go into crowded places or go out in public and not have to be as bogged down by those energies or to feel as drained. I feel like a lot of us just allow this to happen, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. It's like it's our energy, this is our energetic field. And if I don't want to be drained, if I don't want to have anything to do with that energy, I'm not allowing it. And I really feel like this kind of mentality is something you should definitely embrace, pile two, because I suffer from the same thing. But I've recently started to learn it's like, no, this is my power, this is my energetic field, and I don't allow energies that are lower vibration to interfere with that, because it's not mine to take on. If they would like to have like a reading or a session with me, that's another thing. But even then, you don't allow those energies to bring you down. Because I feel like this energy of hermit, it was more protective than anything. Because sure, a lot of us do like to be alone, but like, why is that? And it's not necessarily always because we love our company, though that can be true, of course. A lot of the time, it's just to protect our energies and to protect our peace. But we're learning to balance that. We're learning to be out in public and not be bogged down. And I feel like this is really affirmed by the Nine of Pentacles and the Emperor, because here we have two individuals that are very much in their power. The Emperor, of course, being very powerful, but then I'm also getting a lot of divine feminine from this Nine of Cups and this Nine of Pentacles card. I feel like the card I saw before was the Nine of Wands. That's interesting. I don't know why I keep thinking of the past. Some of you might be thinking a lot about the past and like the things you have done and kind of not letting those things go. And that might be another energy that is haunting you to this day, whether that was past life or your actual past of this current life. So I would just say to go ahead and let it go. Forgive yourself and allow that energy to just be expelled from your current situation. But yeah, some of you are definitely getting into this slaying energy of having everything you want. I am hearing that some of you will be getting compensated for your services if you do have like a business where you do energetic healing or maybe meditation, somewhere where you share your wisdom or your abilities with other people. I'm hearing that some of you are finally going to be compensated or getting paid, because with the Nine of Pentacles here, I'm getting somebody who is focused on their bag. Also notice how she's got all these gifts around her. So some of you may be receiving you may just be receiving in general, really coming into that feminine energy of being able to accept gifts, whatever those may be, from other people, even if that's just praise or thanks, and in some cases gratitude. I feel like you may be one of those people who whenever somebody thanks you for something, you're just like, oh, there's no need to thank me. But the truth is, let them express their gratitude and their thanks to you, because sometimes opening yourself up to that kind of positive feedback will also open yourself up for a lot more in terms of energy, as well as actual physical gifts and abundance. I am getting Mars energy here. Honestly, I'm getting more of that balance between feminine and masculine energies, knowing when to take action and when to receive. With the Three of Wands here, I'm honestly getting a little bit of creative energy from this card just because the kids are painting. So I'm wondering if some of you are starting some creative pursuits, whether that is actual art or whether that's a different way of going about what you do or how you have your practice, especially because yeah, these two cards are just very creative. Like I said, some of you may be in the fiber arts, whether that's knitting, crocheting, macrame, weaving, whatever it is. Or you are weaving together two aspects of yourself that don't normally coincide. Like maybe you're doing, for example, intuitive weaving, where you kind of dig into people's the colors their aura is exuding and weaving that into like a small tapestry or something like that. That's a great idea, actually. I don't weave, but if I did, that would be something I would do. But I'm definitely seeing a lot of creative pursuits. I feel like your creativity is being reignited as well. So do expect a sudden upgrade in the way you see things creatively, in the way you're getting inspiration from all corners of the universe, essentially. With the Ace of Pentacles here, as well as the Four of Wands, you're going to be celebrating, how do I put this? You're going to be celebrating the foundation of something. I really feel you're going to start something new, whether that's a business, a creative pursuit, or maybe even just, I don't know, but there is something that needs to be, something you have worked on for quite a bit. I really wonder if some of you are artists, because I'm seeing so many, like she's painting here, but some of you may also draw. You're going to be celebrating something. Oh, I'm getting intuitive paintings or drawings. I'm wondering if this is going to finally start bringing in some sort of abundance, or this is planting the seeds for something much bigger in the future. I really do feel like you're finally calling in the money that is owed to you, or the physical abundance that is owed to you. Definitely some sense of stability. And I feel like you're really leaving your mark on the world in some way. Yeah, maybe you're an intuitive painter. I feel like all artists do have a sense of intuition to some extent, because it all has to do with being able to see something in the mind's eye and just bringing that to canvas or paper or whatever it is, to being able to take something from imagination and make it a reality. And likewise, you can take that however it resonates, whether that's manifestations or actual art. You're allowing the inspiration to bring forth a lot of great things for you, Pile 2. And this is all rather lovely. I really love the balance of this, of being able to both be creative and in this heart space of loving what you do and making something great for the better good, for the world, and being compensated for it, because you do need to make a living, and why not make a living this way? So some numbers that are coming through, we have 9 twice. We also have 4 twice. So 9 and 4 are important numbers for you, as well as 14. Yeah, 4 is coming through 3 times. So I feel like the number 4, you could be a life path 4, or maybe you were born in April, or April in general could be of importance. And with 9 to me is community. Life path 9 people are those that don't mind helping, you know, their neighbors out, people around them. They're all about community. I know this because my partner is a number 9, and they're always somebody who just, you know, gets up and helps somebody without even being asked. They hear that call and they act on it right away. I'm also getting 5, just because 4 is the number before 5, and because 14, 1 plus 4 reduces to 5 in numerology. And yeah, 1 and 3. And then I just feel like you're setting up a great foundation here for something that is going to be long-lasting, Pile 2, and that can be the upgrade of taking all these intuitive or energetic gifts and giving them a new life and allowing them to flourish in a different way that also benefits you and everybody around you, which is quite lovely when you think about it. But let's move on to some closing advice to see what else we can expect from your upgrades. I'm going to be using the Pokemon Oracle deck, Okami Omikuji. Well, if I can get it out. So what advice do we have for my lovely Pile 2? We have, oh, okay, one fell. So we have all of picks. Take the risk. For some of you, I feel like whatever you are beginning might seem like a little bit of a risk, mostly financially. Just as with starting any business is a risk, really, when you think about it, because you don't know whether it's going to do well or not, or whether it'll flourish, whether it will bring in enough money to be worth all the time, resources, and money invested into it. But with this card here, I feel like it's at least worth pursuing. Definitely take the risk, especially if you've already done the calculations. And of course, just tap into your intuition. Like, you know deep inside whether this will be a worthwhile thing or not. And the second card, comparison will rob you of joy. Be happy for others, but don't feel you need to be like them. So especially if you are like an energetic healer, I feel like you may compare yourself to others, especially those more successful or those who have already made a name for themselves and how abundant they are. Like, I feel like you cannot compare yourself to others because they've all had such a different upbringing or a different background. A lot of them, you know, some of them have built themselves from the ground up, and some of them already had the funds to begin with. But, you know, everyone's path is so different. I don't know why, but like Abraham Hicks is coming to mind. They're they're a channeler and kind of a motivational speaker, but she even says, or what's her name, Esther Hicks, she even expresses that she and her husband had already made their money and they just started the Abraham Hicks company, channeling, whatever you call it, as something after. And I feel like if you were to compare yourself to them, it's like, oh well, they already had the money. You can't. That was their journey. Your journey is different. There are people who start from nothing and, you know, build themselves up to be just to be very successful and very inspirational. I feel like those stories are more inspirational than anything. Think about Oprah, who, her story, she came from, well, if I'm remembering correctly, because it's been a while and she's been around for such a long time, she didn't always have the most amount of wealth in the world for a woman. Just read her story. And I don't think there's anything wrong with looking for inspirational stories, but don't compare yourself to them. Your story is always going to be different. And not only that, but people have their downs and highs. They have, you know, their story isn't linear, and it's definitely not something of always being at the top. They go through their downfalls, their uprisings, whatever you have. And honestly, just focus into what makes you uniquely you, pile 2. And then we're going to get some cards from my handmade oracle. Some of you may be trying to make your own oracle or tarot deck, I'm also hearing. Not me, because it's kind of hard to replicate this. These are all handmade paper. I recycled some colorful paper, and yeah, it was kind of junk journaling, but I don't really do junk journals. I just kind of like that look. So we have, growth does not have to be painful. And ooh, I'm grateful for the love. Yeah, so growth does not have to be painful. Just like I said, everybody's story is different. I don't think you have to have a dark night of the soul every single time to have this spiritual awakening or to build an empire. I feel like there's nothing wrong in telling that story, and there's nothing wrong with having that. But at the same time, if you've gone through nothing super bad in your life or painful, that's fine. You can still create that. And likewise, don't expect growth to be painful. Don't think that you have to suffer in order to get somewhere better. Don't think you have to suffer in order to get, you know, this beautiful life of abundance. You are allowed to grow seamlessly and painlessly. And I'm not saying that it'll be perfect. I mean, there has to be a bit of lessons learned along the way. But again, they don't have to be painful. And also, I feel like you could interpret this as well as you suffer as much as you want to. Like, you can make it as painful or as painless as that is. And a lot of it is a mentality. Like, if you go in knowing something will be painful and you just prepare yourself for it, even if it's just mentally, it'll be better. I think they've done studies on this. And I know I do this a lot because I work in and out of a freezer at work. I'm a cake decorator, and sometimes we have to freeze things. If I ready myself for that, you know, below 10 degrees Fahrenheit, I won't feel as cold when I go in there, especially without a jacket or something, if I'm only in there for like a minute, and it won't feel as cold. But if you go in thinking, oh, it's going to be the same temperature, or not preparing yourself for the oncoming chill, then yeah, it's going to feel way worse. So even mentally preparing yourself for what you know will be growing pains can help a lot in the long run. It's all a mentality thing. And I'm grateful for the love. I feel like a lot of people are going to be expressing their gratitude and love for you, and it's up to you to to be grateful back, to just accept it, really, especially if you're somebody who's not used to praise. I feel like, I don't know, you could start by thanking yourself and just getting used to that feeling of praising yourself, because there's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're somebody who hasn't been praised enough in this lifetime. let me go ahead and say how amazing you are and how grateful I am that you have these amazing gifts and this amazing energy to share with the world, pile 2. And if you need to listen to like affirmations like that, there are plenty of them here on YouTube. Some that you can even fall asleep to, so you just get used to, phrases of inspiration and phrases of compliments. I don't know why the word escaped me. Yeah, of appreciation, because a lot of people love you. And I feel like the more you hear it, the more you get used to it, and the more you really live in that vibration of gratitude, not just that you have for others, but that others have for you as well, pile 2. And that kind of brings us full circle. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, pile 2. If any of this resonated, please let me know in the comments below. And if you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, pile 3. If you chose this gorgeous Lemurian quartz point, then we have a reading here for you today about your next upgrades. We're going to start with some oracles and then get into the tarot to see what your next upgrades are. Let's start with the card you chose. We have first quarter moon in Capricorn. Unleash your kindest self. Some of you may be Capricorns or moon in Capricorns. And we also have growth. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. You got 2 goddess cards. We have Demeter, harvest, and Pele, determination, which in this reading so far is very much Capricorn. I feel like Capricorns have such high determination to achieve whatever it is they want. And swan. So, I am getting the sense of getting grounded, but I feel like you're already a very grounded individual, pile 3, especially if you are a Capricorn or any earth sign, Taurus and Virgo included. But specifically, I'm getting visuals of like plants and nature and trees. So I do feel like your next upgrade is going to have something to do with being out in nature, or at least taking inspiration from nature and allowing yourself to live by the cycle of the seasons. I do feel a sense of growth. I feel like you're always growing. You're always going after something. You really love to set goals and you don't like to stop. Like once you achieve one goal, it's like, okay, let's go on to the next thing and the next thing. It's almost like your growth is limitless. It's like climbing a mountain wouldn't be enough for you, because once you reach the top of the mountain, it's like, okay, let's head for the sky now. So this is really awesome energy, pile 3. But at the same time, even though you are a naturally grounded person, I still feel like it wouldn't hurt to reconnect with that groundedness, just to come back and maybe look at all the achievements you've had. You may be somebody who doesn't really look to the past that much. I'm getting Edna mode. I forget what exactly she says, but she's like, I don't look back, darling. It keeps me from being in the present or the future. I can't remember. But similarly, I feel like you do give me Edna mode vibes, where she just takes on the challenge of having to dress up all these superheroes and like she overcomes it somehow because she loves that challenge. And likewise, pile 3, I feel like you enjoy a good challenge too. With Demeter harvest, I really do feel like you love to reap the rewards of what you have sown. Like you very much have your eye on the prize, and you know how to fully appreciate what it is that you've gained, that you deserve. And this is such great energy, really. So I'm wondering what exactly your next upgrade is, other than, I feel like you're always upgrading. Maybe you were drawn to this reading because you honestly wanted to know what your upgrades were, but the truth is there's so many, and you're always upgrading. You're always in this energy of going forward, going up, and just achieving boundless success. It's rather lovely, really. I feel like there's a lot of energy to you as well. So with Pele here, determination, I really do feel like you're this volcano. So earth, like land, comes from volcanoes. It comes from deep within the ocean. And likewise, I feel you may have started from the bottom and now we're here. I'm hearing Drake now, the song. But yeah, you started from like the very bottom, of the very core, the center of the earth, and little by little, it starts as an underwater volcano, and then little by little, it just becomes an above water volcano, if that's the term for it. And then the lava comes down around the volcano and it starts building. Very fertile land. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but the lava, once it dries up and becomes like this super fertile land that you can plant anything on, and it'll thrive, it'll grow, and it'll just be amazing. And again, it's that boundlessness that I get. Determination for sure, but also I'm hearing limitless boundlessness. Like you have no barriers to what you can achieve and what you can do. I am going to read a little bit from the book for the swan, because here I'm wondering if what you are looking for is a partner. And if your next upgrade will be a partner, because even though you could see this as looking at yourself, maybe you're going to be working on some things within yourself because of this mirror image of the swan, you could also take it to mean your other half. And sometimes your other half will mirror you. But before I do that, unleash your kindest self. I'm wondering if some of you have a bit of a cold temperament. Not saying that you're mean or anything, but maybe there's a bit of a aloofness to you, a little bit of coldness, like maybe when people try to get to know you. And I'm not saying this to be mean or anything. You may not be the warmest person. Like maybe it takes a lot or a long time to really get to know you or get to see like your true personality. And that's okay. For somebody who, I feel like you come off very intimidating to some people. So I'm wondering as well if this next upgrade you're getting is just a better group of people to be around, maybe people who truly understand you or that you can open up to a lot better, that you don't feel this need to keep them at a distance for whatever reason. Because I'm thinking again of that lava, how it just, it repels people because if they get too close, they get burned. But let me read up on the swan from the Animal Spirit Guide. Swan, effortless creativity, sensitive mystic, and elegant power. The swan represents heightened creativity. In Hindu mythology, the goddess, I hope I pronounced this right, Saraswati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard, an inner vision likely to be revealed. So some of you may be creatives, maybe you, whatever you create, it could be actual art, it could be content if you work online, it could be empires. You may be creating empires, for all I know. And I do see this as going inward and seeing where you can better your, I'm not saying you have a bad personality, but you would like to make your personality something different, maybe something more outgoing, something a bit more warm, something that is a little bit more of a people person. Because of right now, I feel like you may be a people person, but it may all be very corporate, I'm hearing, or robotic, platonic. I'm getting those words. like something that is very maybe not the most personable, and that's okay. I'm not here to judge and I'm not here to shame. It's more like you want to be like these goddesses, just warm and inviting and lovely, because even though you did get these two, I feel like that's something that you might have trouble embodying, at least like most of the time. I do feel like you are a very warm and lovely person, pile 3, but not everybody gets to see that, or you may not even be aware that you hide that from the world because you are so successful, because you have so many achievements. Some of it is intimidation, so you may intimidate several people, especially if you're, for example, like the head manager of something or the CEO of something, the founder of something. There might be just such a sense of prestige, I guess. I don't know. Like people find it difficult to approach you because you're just so amazing. They kind of don't know what to do. And I feel like you want to break down that sense of intimidation that you get. Some of you, and I understand this because I have it, you might have RBF. And maybe you want to, I don't know, get some kind of facial, or I don't know, something to alleviate that. Maybe some face yoga. I know I do that to prevent my eyebrows from like knitting together, because that's just how my face naturally is, but I don't want that. I don't want people to think I'm always mad. And I feel like you can relate a little bit, or whatever that may be. But yeah, this is quite a lovely spread, and I'm very awed by the energy you have, pile 3. I feel like your upgrades are really more personal and more internal. They have more to do with like the kind of person you come across as opposed to your actual achievements, because I feel like you can achieve anything. You really can. But when it comes to the person you are, I feel like maybe you haven't had the time, or you haven't taken the time to really reflect inward and see what kind of aura you're giving out, or what kind of oh, the word escapes me. What kind of personality you're exuding, because it may not be reflective of who you actually are. And maybe somebody has brought this up to you. Maybe you weren't aware that people saw you a certain way, so now you're really wanting to work on this, because as with anything, you want to be able to be successful in everything, and that includes having person-to-person connections, relationships, and to just have, you know, wonderful people around you, and to have this vibe that anybody can approach you. You definitely want to be more approachable. But yeah, let's move on with the tarot to see what else we have in your upgrades. For some of you, I do feel like part of this is because you may be wanting a partner, and you feel like a lot of your success is kind of repelling them, because maybe you personally find it hard to find somebody who is on your level of wanting to achieve things, or especially if you have like a higher income, maybe it's hard to find people of your age or background, whatever it is that you want in a partner. It's hard to find them of that same level and of that same basically you just find it hard to find people on your level. Pile 3, whatever that level may be. So let's get some tarot cards for you. We're using the Sacred Sisterhood Tarot. First card, we have the 4 of Cups. We have the Knight of Pentacles, or sorry, the Knight of Wands. We have the Hanged Man and Justice. And then to clarify these cards, we're using the same deck. Some of you may find your personal life and your professional life hard to mesh together for some reason. So to clarify the 4 of Cups, we have the Fool. To clarify the Knight of Wands, we have... let me block this for a minute. We have the 7 of Swords. To clarify the Hanged Man, we have the Ace of Swords. And to clarify Justice, we have the 10 of Cups. And sorry, I have to censor these because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. Though I love this deck. There's a lot of nudity in it, which is fine with me. And then back at the deck energy, we have Death. So yeah, I feel like some of you are going through the death of an old personality to make way for a new one. And I feel like you've actually accepted this. It's almost like you threw your own funeral for an old personality that you know was no longer serving you. Because much like with anything you go for in life, you are aware what is working and what is not. And if it's not working, why keep it around? I feel, especially because we have the Ace of Swords here, you find no hesitation in letting go of that which does not work. And I feel like it's part of the reason you've become so successful. You have a very short resistance to the things that are not going to get you to where you want. So you understood, especially once you were made very aware that whatever you were exuding previously was not working. You're like, okay, time for a personality makeover. And all of this sounds very mean, but I feel like this is also the kind of conversations you have with yourself, pile 3. It's like you look at yourself in the mirror very seriously, you cut through the clutter, you don't let emotions stand in the way. It's like, okay, we need a massive revamp of whatever is going on with me, because if I want to get to where I want to be, this is not the kind of person I can continue being. And I have to applaud you for that. It takes a lot of a lot of self-awareness and a lot of balls really to get to that kind of mentality. And that is something I wish I could embody. With the Four of Cups here and the Fool, again, I feel like you had to do a lot of internal contemplating. That's what I'm getting from the Four of Cups. Some of you may actually drink, and maybe you come to certain realizations when you intake alcohol, responsibly, of course. I'm not saying that you do this excessively, but I feel like maybe one evening you took a time with yourself and like maybe a glass of wine and decided, yeah, okay, this makes sense. I have to accept it. And then you moved forward with the Fool here. It's kind of like you were open to any kind of personality that, well, one, was true to you. It has to be something that comes naturally to you. You're not going to be something you're not, clearly. You're not going to fake it. But something that you also knew was a lot more carefree, and you were very open and willing for anything. And if you haven't been in that energy, I'm talking in the past tense, but for some of you, this may be in the future or even now currently. Maybe you're watching a lot of YouTube videos for some advice on this kind of stuff. But you were very open to this internal makeover, I'm hearing. I don't know why I keep phrasing it like that, but that's the best way I can think about stating it, just because I don't want to say it was like I don't know. Yeah, it's a makeover. So, and I feel like that makes it sound more fun too. With the Knight of Wands and the Seven of Swords, I feel like it used to be that you were go, go, go. The Knight of Wands is someone who's very fast, always jumping from one thing to another. And I feel like that is still very much you, pile 3. But you're taking the time to slow down a bit, especially with this knitting project here. I actually knit, and especially with a project this big, knitting takes a long time. I feel like you also understand that good things take time, good work will take time, and you are not afraid of the grind, essentially. I didn't intend for that to rhyme, but you know. With the Seven of Swords here, I feel like, so swords can be deception. There may have been something in your past that kind of made you stop being so open with other people. I feel like maybe somebody in the past stabbed you in the back, maybe in terms of business or in terms of whatever career you may have, and that kind of made you very closed off to your more warm, fun, true self, because it's in there somewhere. I can feel that you're actually rather funny, but maybe you don't show that as much anymore because you told yourself, I don't want to open myself up to anybody who will find my weaknesses or allow myself to be vulnerable in front of people who will end up deceiving me or, you know, stabbing me in the back or just talking trash about me. That's the kind of thing I'm hearing from one of your wounds, which is this: you close yourself off and you started focusing on your work, really diving yourself into this work to kind of forget those kinds of things. But I feel like those connections and that energy is coming back into the light so that you can heal it and go back to being your more true, authentic, happy self. I feel like you were even happier back then. Not saying that you're not happy now with what you've achieved, but I feel like your joy may be the one thing that is not limitless. You have closed off a certain aspect of it so that you can focus on work. But the truth is, when you bring both of those together, you can have absolute complete bliss. And that's what we're trying to achieve here in this 10 of Cups. With the Hanged Man and the Ace of Swords, again, it's this shift in thinking. So I keep saying personality makeover. I think you're trying to make it seem more like a shift in perspective, because the Hangman is a literal shift in perspective, but the Ace of Swords is also an idea. I feel like you'll be able to free yourself from some old ways of thinking as well, and you'll be able to open yourself up more, because in transforming the way you relate to people, transforming the way you come off as well, you're going to be able to open more channels to things that are going to be beneficial in both your career, your life, in every facet of your life. Because like I said, you're already very successful. You know no bounds when it comes to achieving things. I feel like this is going to open it up even more, or at the very least be able to streamline it more. Like things will come to you a lot more easily, and you can kind of not grind so hard, if you know what I mean. Like you don't have to throw yourself into work as much, because you'll be able to make those connections that you need. You'll be able to network more freely and more more fun, I'm hearing. Like, I feel like the connections you will make are going to be a lot more fun as well, if they already aren't. Or at the very least, you're going to bring in connections that are more true to the kind of person you are, pile 3. With Justice and the Ten of Cups, so Justice typically deals with anything that has to do with contracts, anything that is legally binding. In this case, I'm hearing a soul contract for happiness. I don't know if you deal with soul contracts or if you're aware of them, but in this case, I feel like you're making a contract with yourself to find the joy in life and to live it to its fullest and to really find true happiness. I feel like happiness is something that you think is eluding you for whatever reason, or you kind of put it on the back burner and haven't really focused on it much because you think success will bring happiness, and it can. But I feel like you haven't focused on exactly what it is that makes you happy. And now that you've achieved so much, now that you're in a space where you can actually focus on that, you're making it a point to balance out your life in order for it to make you the most blissful, emotionally fulfilled person there is. And again, this is cool. This death card is more of a, there's a bit of an internal upheaval for you here, pile 3. And all of this is more personal. This isn't going to be something everybody sees, except maybe some very few people that you allow to see you this way. Because I do hear that you do have some people that that you're vulnerable around, but it's not a lot. It may be like 1, 2, 3 people. And some of them may even be family, so I don't know if that even counts. But at the same time, you know that you needed this. I think you kind of embrace transformation this way because you know it's essential to get to where you want. Like I said, that Capricorn energy, they're not afraid to do anything for success, and that includes cutting things out that you don't need and making room and space and even opening the door to things that will get you to where you want. And this is all quite awesome energy, pile 3. Let me know what it is you do, or if any of this resonates, because I'd find even just reading this energy very inspirational. Some numbers that are coming through, we have 12, so maybe December is an important month for you, or you could have been born in December if you are a Capricorn. 13, 11, I'm getting November as well. 7, 10, 4. So nothing is coming up more than once. I just was drawn to 11 and 12 and 13 as well. The 13th, Friday the 13th could be an important day for you. Hopefully I post this before Friday the 13th in October of 2023 when I'm currently recording this. But let's move on to your closing advice and see what else we can discuss about your upgrades. But yeah, beautiful energy, pile 3. Keep doing what you're doing. The world needs more people like you. So we have the Pokemon Oracle deck for some final advice, as well as my own handmade oracle. So for Pokemon, we have Tangela, the Withdrawal. Some of you may decide to go into hermit mode for a little bit, or withdraw from whatever is going on, just to kind of really focus on yourself. And don't be afraid to do so. Don't think that things are going to come apart just because you do. The structures you have put in place are going to sustain themselves, is what I'm hearing, because you're good at what you do. We also have, oh, you got the Digimon card. Okay, so maybe some of you are more Digimon fans than Pokemon fans. One man's vanilla is another man's chocolate. Milkshake. This is supposed to be like a Joker card. So again, I do feel like some of you actually have a very funny side to you that you don't show off to a lot of people. But with this card, one man's vanilla is another man's milk chocolate. It's just saying that not everybody's going to like you, even when they see this new part of you. I feel like you're going to not repel, but you're definitely going to throw some people off, and some people may be like, oh, they're just acting this way for this, this, and this. Don't pay attention to them. That's not for them to really, it doesn't matter what they have to say, essentially. So some people may not like this new side of you, but it doesn't matter because you're being true to yourself, and that's all that matters. And you will easily find that there's a lot of people who are going to love this new side of you as well, pile 3. I'm getting called to draw one more card. If you're presented problems without solutions, some will choose to get used to it. I feel like you solve a lot of problems, but likewise, you've also seen where people get very complacent with their problems. And you're not one to just stand around and like allow those problems to continue. I really feel you're you're an amazing problem solver and you don't like seeing people struggle. And likewise, I feel like you've seen some of that within yourself. And this one thing that we're talking about may be one of those things. So you're definitely not allowing yourself to get used to that anymore. And then we have my oracle deck with my handmade paper. It looks like scrapbook or junk journal paper, but set your soul free. Yeah, I feel like some of you are going to be doing some internal searching to see what exactly it is that frees your soul. Maybe find some hobbies that allow you to have more fun. I'm hearing your inner child needs to come out and play. And then you ground yourself through more light. Again, this message of grounding yourself is coming through. So it's funny because this energy feels very grounded, but I'm wondering if this is more of a, maybe through grounding yourself, you find more of your authentic self, because I don't think there's a limit to how much you can ground yourself, just like there's no limit to how much light you can bring in. But also, it's funny, the way I ground myself, I imagine light coming in from Earth's core. And now I'm thinking of volcanoes, because that's actually the image that comes to me whenever I'm grounding myself. Like I'm literally creating more earth, more land. And that's how I envision grounding. Some of you may be going somewhere where there's volcanoes, because now I'm thinking again of The Incredibles. Maybe you liked The Incredibles movie. Maybe that's like a big thing for you. But I'm thinking of the layer where, what's his name, Syndrome lives. He lives in a volcano. Maybe some of you are drawn to volcanoes that way because you think they're amazing. And maybe you might be visiting or vacationing somewhere where there's volcanoes and just drawing inspiration from that. Or finding that kind of area to be very grounding. To watch them from afar, of course. I know a lot of people love to do that. But yeah, this is all I have for you, my lovely pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you and for being in this really awesome kick-ass energy. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, pile 4. If you chose this garnet palm stone, then we have your reading here for you today about your next big upgrades. We're going to start with some oracles to see what your upgrade will be, and then dive into the tarot to see how it will play out. So let's start with the card you chose. We have Full Moon in Libra, find a balance. I think the full moon in Libra just passed us, so whenever I'm recording this. But regardless, you may have a moon in Libra, and you will also be cultivating a lot of this balancing act within the next few, I'm hearing days from whenever you get this reading, but for some of you, it may be weeks to months. Everybody's journey will be different, but let's move on with your oracles to see what else we have. We have Horse. I hope I pronounced her name right. Amaterasu. Inner Beauty. The Initiation, Rite of Passage, Crossing the Threshold. And Stop. So I'm getting quite a few messages for you, pile 4, and I feel like you're trying to actually get a lot accomplished by a certain amount of time. And the message I'm getting from this spread in general is that you need to find a balance between what it is you can realistically get accomplished and when you have to kind of put on the back burner for now, so that you can better give your energy to the things that are at the forefront of what you want to get accomplished. It's like you can't divide your energy and attention between so many things. You have to focus on like 1 or 2 main things in order to be able to achieve them. Because for some of you, I'm getting Inner Beauty. I feel like some of you want to focus on internal work, not necessarily your beauty, but more like your energy within, that which makes you glow, if that makes sense. Some of you are you're wanting to start something, and this rite of passage crossing the threshold. I feel like some of you want to embark on a new journey, but you're still working on Inner Beauty. And then with Stop here, I really feel like you have to prioritize what it is you want to focus on. So some of you probably came to this reading because you want to upgrade certain things. I feel like some of you want to upgrade your energy, but what I'm hearing is that you kind of have to take a step back and realize that you realistically cannot get everything done right away. Focus your attention on 1 or 2 things. Some of you might be year of the horse, and I say this because I'm also year of the horse, and I know several horses as well. Like I know a lot of them, people, horses, and we're prone to anxiety because we take on so much. There's a sense of restlessness within us, and even if you're not year of the horse, this energy is still very much resonating. I'm hearing. There's a sense of anxiety almost if you try to take on too much. It's like you start a bunch of things because you don't like to wait for, you like to keep busy, is what I'm hearing. But I'm also hearing that in doing that, you're not really focusing all your attention on the things you want to do. So learning to focus should be your next upgrade. Learning to focus while you do one thing. Maybe some of you might want to take up meditation or just learn to relax, learn to make time for quietude, learn knowing when to stop. That's why this card came through. Not to stop what you're doing, because everything you're doing is fine, but know when to stop. Know when to take the time to step back, relax. Maybe rewind for some of you, especially if you're like editors. Maybe rewind it a little bit more and see what it is you need to cut out. But yeah, I'm getting just such a sense of overwhelm with the things going on. I feel like some of you do suffer from some kind of mental health issues, whether that's anxiety or just a sense of overwhelm. I feel like some of you are being forced to do a lot as well, especially if you're in like I know when I was in college, there was always so much due like at the same time, and that kind of caused a lot of anxiety within me. I'm no longer anxious like that, but back when I was in that space, the anxiety that was induced by that kind of environment was just, it was crippling, and I didn't really realize it until I looked back. So maybe look at your surroundings and recognize what exactly it is that is making you feel this way, because it could be the environment you're in, it could be the people, it could even be the kinds of projects you are doing. There are certain things that we can do out there that are not the best for, like they may be good things, but they may not be the best for our mental health. For example, working in the medical field can be an amazing thing, but it can also be overwhelming because you're having to see people in distress, people who need help. And especially if you're somebody who gets emotionally impacted by the things they see, this can be quite a lot sometimes. So maybe taking a job still in the medical field, but somewhere where you know it'll not be as emotionally overwhelming. I'm hearing. Some of you could benefit a lot, again, from meditation, but I'm also hearing inspirational messages or hypnotherapy. Like I'm hearing, like what I like to do is I listen to videos on YouTube of people saying positive affirmations or that everything will be fine, or even hypnotherapy. I think was one of the first things I got into. Some of these may help just to help you calm down, because I'm getting the feeling that some of you don't not like to ask for help. But yeah, it's funny. I'm not even looking at the cards as much as I'm channeling. I feel like some of you are also very intuitive and you hear a lot, but there's like a disconnect between what you're seeing and what you're hearing. So some of you may be blocking your intuition, and I feel like one of your next upgrades could be to listen to that inner voice a lot more. Listen to the gut feeling. Just go with what your heart, what makes your heart sing, essentially. What makes your heart feel better, as opposed to closed off or fractured, I'm hearing. I'm going to read a little bit from the Animal Spirit Guidebook for anything else we have about the horse, because so far I've only said stuff about Chinese astrology or lunar astrology. Some of you could also ride horses, or maybe you used to ride horses and maybe you found that to be very soothing. Momentum, freedom, expansive energy, and force. The horse represents the most masterful form of earth energy within the deck. It provides us with momentum, so reliable, so supportive that you can ride it on its back toward any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. A horse personality is fully awakened, fully alive, and cannot be defeated. The horse's freedom becomes available to us when we hone and collect our energy through daily practice. Physical stamina and mental focus are secret weapons behind the horse's legacy. So yeah, I'm getting that you do need to meditate. I feel like some of you are already very active, but maybe finding more meditative activities to do, such as yoga, tai chi, even just like a leisurely walk in the woods, something that keeps you active but allows you to also bind that with your more intuitive or mental state, so that you're able to balance these two things out. I feel like that's also part of the balance that you are looking for, pile 4. And as far as the initiation, I feel like you're about to come into some different way of being. For some of you, it might be a different career, especially if, like I said, you are in a career that puts you in a very anxious mood or that induces anxiety for whatever reason. For some of you, I hear you're not even making enough money to get by, so that itself is anxiety inducing. But yeah, but you're not quite there yet because you need to find this balance first. And I feel like through finding the balance, through really listening to your intuition and your body as well, because some of you may be getting physically exhausted, but you're not listening to that at all. Instead, you're just drinking more caffeine and going on your merry way when you really should be napping. I feel once you bring those two things together, the balance, you'll be able to step into this much more lovelier way of being. So instead of being in this stormy terrain, you'll be walking into this beautiful little jewel-colored beach we see there. But yeah, let's move on to your tarot to see what other upgrades are coming for you. But I know that the upgrades that are coming for you so far are all going to be massively impactful to your mental and physical health. More mental than anything. So let's start with the tarot. We're using the Sacred Sisterhood. First card we have is the 4 of Wands. Second card we have is the Page of Cups. We have the High Priestess. Oh. I don't have a good thing to... Okay, there we go. And the fourth card we have is the Page of Coins. Lots of pages. So yeah, I'm feeling like some of you are going to start something new. To clarify these, we're using the same deck. So we have, okay, lots of titties in this spread today. We have the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Wands. We have the King of Swords. The Three of Pentacles. And Death. And, oh, back of the deck energy, we have the Fool. So yeah, you're definitely starting something new, pile 4. Because I feel the majority of you are going to leave behind whatever is anxiety inducing, whatever that may be. Because I'm feeling like the energy I was in when I started this reading, and I was making sure that it wasn't just me getting dizzy or whatever, for whatever reason. I felt I had such a heavy head. It was very dizzying. So I don't know if your current career or even environment, maybe whoever you live with, is giving you kind of a headache or is dizzying. But you need to leave that. And as soon as, you know, is logically and practically possible. Because whatever you want to do next is something that, first of all, it's going to come a lot quicker than you think. I feel like... because the Eight of Wands is something that is quick and fast. And then we have the 4 of Wands here. That's something to celebrate. I feel like once you get in this mood of knowing that you have control over yourself, once you start feeling like you're quote, quote, celebrating something, maybe being over a certain situation or having one project accomplished, you're going to be in just such a better mood. You're going to feel your vibration rising, and that's going to allow for you to come up with better things to do, to pursue, or to apply for. With this Page of Cups and the King of Swords, I feel like you're going to be able to think a lot more clearly, because the King of Swords is somebody who is in complete control of their thoughts. I feel like certain situations or certain things you used to be working on or working at were kind of not allowing you to think for yourself, or not allowing you to be in the most powerful way of thinking, if that makes sense. Especially if it was something that was confusing you or dizzying you, or causing kind of like a chaos within your own head. Like maybe what you were doing was in conflict with the kind of person you were, or vice versa. So with the Page of Cups here, we're going to something that is a lot more heart oriented. Whatever you're about to do next, it's something that's going to speak to your soul, something that's going to speak to your heart, something that feels a lot more true to yourself. With the High Priestess and the Three of Coins here, I feel like the people you will be working with, or the area you will be working with, is something that's going to allow you to really pay attention to your intuition, so that you're able to accomplish more and do more with those innate intuitive gifts you have. Like I said, you might be called to ask your gut, or to listen to your gut more. I feel like at some point you actually couldn't in this environment you used to be. So wherever you're headed next, you're going to be able to be in this energy of listening to yourself, listening to your gut. And it's going to be very fruitful. It's going to start a lot of beautiful things. I love this image of a pregnant woman, because I feel like some of you might actually be trying to get pregnant, and maybe you're moving on to a job that's not so stressful, so you can be in a better environment for your baby. Take that only if it resonates. But others of you are starting new things. You're birthing new ideas, new creations, or new ways of living, if that makes sense. So this could be like an art project. You could be taking in a fur baby as well. But whatever this is, it's going to be such a much better environment for you, my lovely pile 4. With the Page of Pentacles and Death here, I also feel like some of you are going through a financial I'm hearing reinvestment, but I meant to say rebirth. So maybe some of you are reinvesting, but I feel like you're going to take better control of your finances, because if you can't make as much money as you'd like, you're at least going to be able to handle the money you currently have way better, so that your money works for you, as opposed to you being like a slave to your money, is what I'm hearing. Some of you might also be getting into baking as a way of dealing with stress, or maybe having like healthier desserts around, especially if you stress eat desserts like I have been known to do. And some of you may actually be taking a job in baking, I'm hearing as well. I'm a cake decorator, and I work in a bakery, so that came through. With the Fool here, though, I really do feel like this is the start of a beautiful new journey for you, one where you're going to be a lot more carefree, and one where you're going to feel like yourself again. You're going to be free of that mental clutter, of that anxiety-inducing environment you were in, of anything that was really lowering your vibration and keeping you down there. This new era for you really is going to be a lot more fulfilling in every aspect of the word, because we have Pentacles, Wands, Cups, and Swords here. So again, that balance of every aspect of your life is coming back to you, pile 4, and that is the most amazing upgrade that is coming up for you soon, very soon. Some numbers that are coming through, we have 0, 8, 4, 3, 2, 13, which reduces to 4 in numerology. So a lot of beginning numbers. So I feel like some of you are going to feel like you're a novice, or that you're new to something, and that's okay. Some of you might feel like you're kind of starting over, but at the cost, it's the small price to pay to be in a much better mental state, is what I'm hearing, and I feel like that is priceless. But yeah, just know this is coming sooner than you think, and thank goodness for that, because I don't think you want to stay in the current situation you are right now, my lovely pile 4. But let's move on to some closing advice for you, because I want to see what else comes through. But yeah, I'm glad you're getting out of that, whatever it is, because for some of you, I feel like it's a very stressful job that may pay well, but is like just not great for you. So we have the Pokemon Oracle cards for some advice, and then my handmade Oracle cards. So we have, oh, this is lovely. I love the colors in this. This is Venusaur. Ideas are seeds. What are you planting? Yeah, I feel like this is also going to give you like a new lease on life, where you can plant whatever you want to grow in the future. And Bad things may be good if they prevent something worse. So I feel like whatever you used to be in was kind of a necessary evil. If for some of you it was school, I feel like you kind of had to go through that in order to know, to learn the things that you are currently learning or that you know now, or to really get you that accreditation that you needed in order to move forward with whatever you wanted to do. So it's like, you know, you had to go through it, but it's only to get you to better places. And then I'm hearing one more card for you, pile 4. Never test the depth of water with both feet. So yeah, whatever you go into it slowly so that you don't feel like it's the only option you have. Really look around before you commit to something so that you know it's the best fit for you, especially mentally, I'm hearing, because you are very much affected by your environment. And of course, you don't want to repeat that cycle of being in an environment where you're forced to sacrifice your mental well-being for, you know, money or whatever it is you were getting out of it. So let's see what we have for you. I'm grateful for the love. Yeah, more love is coming your way, pile 4. So this is just reminding you to be, that when it comes to you, to be great, well, to express your gratitude. And intuition is gentle and kind. Quiet the mind and let it in your heart. Yeah, I feel like some of you are going to be tapping into your intuition again. Or you may have thought that certain screaming thoughts in your head were intuition. You may have thought that maybe somewhere along the line you thought that if something was screaming in your head that it was your intuition talking, when really that was your fight or flight response. That was really more your need to survive. And I'm not saying that it's not intuition, but intuition whispers and it's gentle. Anxiety screams. And sometimes anxiety comes to us as a way of, as a defense mechanism, because your body, your energetic body, knows that there's something wrong. So of course it goes into this frenzy state. So just know that the environment you were in was causing that. It wasn't you. You are not your anxiety. And I know everybody was going to say something different. I'm not a mental health professional. I'm not here to claim that this is professional advice. I'm just talking to you as a friend, as one person to another. We are not our mental illnesses. We are not those ailments. Like, we can have anxiety, but we are not anxiety. And I feel, especially if you're somebody who has wanted to identify very strongly with those things, I'm here to tell you it's not you. It's okay to let that go and accept that it was just there for a season to help you get through certain things. It wasn't meant to stay there forever. You know, it's just, I feel like you're really, another upgrade you're having is this sense of well-being, of being more peaceful and more gentle and kind with yourself, and in this beautiful energy of love. And if it seems a little far-fetched, I feel like at least give it a try. We're not put on this world to suffer. That's a fact. We really aren't. We may experience suffering, but we're not meant to stay in it, for sure. But these are all the messages I have for you, my beautiful pile 4. Thank you so much for letting me read for you and for letting me give you advice. If any of this resonated, please let me know. And if you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Bye.